Hello, everybody, and welcome to Legends of Arcadia Genesis. I'm Koibu. I'll be your DM for the afternoon, morning, evening, night, something like that. We have a good third episode coming up for you. But before we do that, let's check in with Sean, who we haven't seen in a million years. Sean, how's it going?
Pretty good. Lots been happening.
What's been happening?
You're in a new place.
I played some new video games.
Nice.
The president is doing very well and undergoing experimental treatment for the coronavirus.
Have you not moved house, Sean? You're in a different place. You're living with your
I think that was
girlfriend
before
now?
we started, though. I think that had already happened.
He was in
really?
here last session too. Yeah. Well, it's just less decorated.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a little bit more moved in now. There's not box. Well, there's still boxes everywhere, but there's different kinds of boxes now.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Nice.
permanent boxes instead of cardboard ones.
Not just like you're not going to unpack this. You've just decided to not unpack it. Permanent boxes, because I'm familiar with that.
I would do that. The Guardian Force was much less okay with that strategy.
You don't say.
Yeah.
You know, if you tip a box on its side, it's basically a shelf. I like that.
I feel
That's
you.
a
I
good
like that
image.
way.
So it's like,
If
that's a good
I was in
argument. I'll
college
use
was
that.
any indication,
It's not. It's absolutely not.
if my experience in college was any indication, I probably would have had like the cardboard boxes shoved into a closet for the entire like year of my lease, and then I would move somewhere else and already be packed and be ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I love this idea. I want to try this now. I'm gonna have to buy cardboard boxes to do this.
My advice is to just save the ones that you get, right? Like when I would order something and have it delivered, I would save the box and just like leave it empty in the closet.
I don't get orders. I don't order things, right?
Mm.
When I buy things, I usually just like walk down to the store.
A brick and mortar man.
Why?
I'm afraid of leaving the house.
Don't give me
so-
too much credit. When I walk down to stores, they're usually giant ass chains.
Why do you put stuff online, Greg? Is it a moral reason or just?
No, I didn't grow up doing it, right?
Mhm.
And so it's not something that I do as an adult. It just doesn't occur to me. I'm just like, why would I, like, people, my brother is like, oh, I Amazoned this, and this. And I'm like, but I could just drive down to Circuit City and pick all of that up, you know? Like, why don't I just get it now?
Mm-hmm.
I need instant gratification, obviously, because I'm a millennial, right? That's how isn't that the thing? So I buy it from the store. That doesn't quite check out.
I mean, it's next day delivery though, Greg. It's not that bad. And what if you need a toothbrush holder, a frying pan, and a webcam? Well, you can't get all that from the same store.
I actually can. Yeah, Fred Meyer.
Yeah.
You want to sponsor Greg, you know?
Fred Meyer ain't sponsoring anybody.
Greg Hansen.
All right, point made. Fair enough.
All right. Anyone else have anything interesting? Because we all saw you guys a couple weeks ago, so you're not as important to recap.
No.
Oh my
friend.
God, you got another one?
They're
Oh my
multiplying.
God.
This one's
Oh
a dragon,
God.
so it's topical.
That's adorable.
My God.
That's nice.
Look at
His name is Duke, and Aaron insisted that I introduce him.
Hello, Duke.
Show the backside. Show the backside. Turn around.
Excuse me.
Oh my God, he's got a little tail. Can you name all of the ones behind you in order?
No comment.
Oh, you definitely can't.
I'm muted, apparently. No, wait, I'm not.
No,
you're
you're not.
muted.
You're not muted.
You're muted,
No.
Fox Sorcerer.
He's lying to you. All right. Well, why don't we do a quick recap of where we last left off? What the hell was going on? For 100 experience points.
All right, for 100 experience points, I'll muddle my way through it.
Giga Spear. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah. So we came in from the last episode. I think we were just on the east side of the river, or the north side of the river. We just defeated a couple of ogres. Malchus turned up, and he was like, real great job. Israel. It was Israel, right, with the spear.
Mm-hmm.
You were so cool that you got the last killing blow on the ogre champion.
Did I? I'm just like.
No, the illest ogre. So, yeah.
How many
So
ogres have I killed?
Just too many.
It's not a good
Countless.
luck.
And he turned your spear into like a magic spear, an ultra spear. And then we were looking for Kale, but we figured out that he's in some sex dungeon.
That's not fair.
It's not.
It was just a regular dungeon.
It's just a cave.
Just a
it's a
regular
normal
cave.
cave.
Okay, no, yeah, but if you take a normal cave and you do weird sex shit in it, then it becomes a sex
There
cave.
was sex shit. There
Okay,
was no
hold
weird
on.
sex shit.
So does Sean have any idea what his character
Yeah,
is up
okay.
to?
I was
knows
described.
very
I was
well.
described
He knows
what happened.
exactly what
Yes,
happened.
I was.
100%.
Faye explained this to me, and all these people saying that it's a sex dungeon have very low standards.
All right, so
None of you
Somebody
guys
else.
have ever seen a real sex dungeon before.
Yeah,
let me tell you, it doesn't
you.
look like that.
Yeah, so he had the shovel anyway, or the guy guarding him had the shovel. So we went up there to check on he was okay, make sure that Nyx hadn't eaten him. We grabbed the shovel, and we headed back down to the south side of the river and started building more defenses there. Then the ogre champion turned up, and we had a battle. Luckily, our trenches screwed him over, and we managed to get killed, just like without him able to murder any of us. And then I don't know how this took 4 hours, but then we went back to Acropolis. We spoke to a halfling or a gnome about some mushrooms. Nyx inquired about a research lab, an alchemy lab. Guy was like, "Oh, get me the mushrooms, and you can use my alchemy lab." And then we were like, "All right, well, let's wait for Kale to be finished. We'll head back into the forest. We'll look for these mushrooms and deal with any ogres if we come across them." I think is what happened.
That's a pretty good recap. There were some morning prayers on mountaintops that we skipped over, but I think that's fair.
I mean, yeah, that's not
Yeah.
recap material.
No, certainly not. Anyone else want to add anything? Or 50 experience points? Any other details to add?
Well, the two lovely people that we have met are called Coco and Cola, and they were on the lookout for cocoa leaves.
I love your naming system. I want to point out, very excellent.
That's somebody
I
else.
want to
likes
know
it.
when we meet Campbell and Soup.
That would be a good one.
We also
We
figured
s-
out that Iswal has a sister, right?
And she's good at baking,
at least one.
apparently.
Oh, I
yeah.
missed some stuff about the gods. If
That's what
anyone
I was
can remember
gonna
from 50
add,
XP.
yeah.
Well, you go for it. Get that XP.
Well, there were some ominous signs in the sky. A comet descending and a comet ascending. Signifying tranquility leaving the world and suffering descending upon it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. And you guys made your way back to the edge of the forest, right? 2-day journey up to town, do your town stuff, 2-day journey back to the edge of the woods, right?
Yeah, and we're gonna go get Kale, right?
Okay, yeah. So why don't we start off with you guys heading into the dark, spooky woods, looking for the normal cave in which Kale is sitting, resting peacefully. So, yeah, go ahead, Nick, please.
This is the place next, right?
Yep, just down this little path, and we're there.
Should he be finished now?
Well, I'd assume so. It depends how long he has. How many? I don't know how many tries it takes him to get out of there, but he should be done by now.
Do we all go in or just you?
I mean, you're very welcome to step in.
I look to the scary forest inhabited by ogres trying to kill me. I look back to the cave. I'll probably stay out here, actually. I'll keep guard or something.
You've been in. It's just a cave. You've been in there just a few days ago.
I look to the rest of the group for support.
Don't worry about it. We'll be fine.
Oh, Greg is sick.
Yeah. Yes, he has a weird
yeah.
or something.
Greg is not
I was
sick.
like, did
June
he,
is sick.
did he take
June.
a punch to the larynx or something?
I don't know what happened. He failed to
No
save
one
versus.
knows I
Yeah.
failed to save. Now I talk like this until I heal.
You know what?
This is my sick voice Wazowski.
I don't care. You can stay outside. You can walk inside. I don't care. I'm gonna go fetch him, and I'll step back into the cave.
Zual stands outside.
I
I give him a
follow.
nod.
Six a spear in the mud and stands watch.
All right. The two of you enter the cave, and what do they find in there? Kale.
Oh, like I mean, I assume I'm in the cave.
Yes, you're in the.
Yeah, you're in
Read
the
the
cave.
Okay, that's good. We've established that. Am I still asleep or am I awake?
It is
Nix, what do they find in the
It
cave?
is a smallish. So it is the cave you're in. Is not particularly big. You're laying like how you woke up when you woke up was you were laying on the floor. Your hands and feet were loosely bound by yarn. You were holding a small tarot card in your hands, which looks like a duckling or a little swan, some kind of young bird. The cave is pretty much dark except for Manfred holding a candle. And the walls are decorated with glowing glyphs and symbols and bloodied handprints.
Right, totally normal cave.
Manfred
Just your
looks
average
up,
cave.
sees you guys coming, bumbles over. His lordship is doing well.
Oh, that's good to hear. Is he awake by now?
His eyes have been fluttering recently. I didn't know if I should touch him.
He should be fine. Is he still holding the card?
He nods enthusiastically and leads you over to Kale, who is loosely bound, holding a card, resting comfortably on his back. It appears that Manfred has like wrapped a rock with some clothing to use as like a pillow for Kale's head.
Mm-hmm. I will lean forward and I gently pick up the card and pull it out of Kale's hands, which will break the spell or whatever he is, experiencing, so that he can wake up. And I'll tuck the card back into my pocket.
Yeah. It tucks comfortably into your pocket. Kale's eyes flutter awake. And you see before you your companions, who you've known for all of 7 days, which you've spent 5 of asleep. You've slept through most of your existence. How does it feel?
Not much different than the real world.
Wow.
I'm gonna crouch next to him and lean a little bit over him so I can look at his face, and I'll say, "So, how'd it go?"
I think like still sort of blinking the sleep out of his eyes. He like stares at the ceiling and just says under his breath, "Hagala."
Oh. Oh. I guess I can untie you now. And I'll like gently try to pull the yarn off your hands. You're not bound super harshly together. It's really loose. So I'm getting rid of the yarn, and I'll make it into a small ball and tuck it into my pocket.
Nix, will you make me a spellcraft check?
Can actually not in roll 20. Look at me go.
Oh,
Naughty
God.
Wazowski.
Oh my
The
God.
absolute worst of people.
So there's a new slot opening up on Legends of Arcadia Genesis.
Yeah,
We're gonna
if you
have some.
want to jump in. Cave is already reserved, though. You're not getting my house if you're coming into the campaign. I'm just letting you know.
That's true. You'd have to buy that with in-game money,
Yep, and
which
that's
you
gonna
can
be
buy
real
from
expensive.
Faye or I for real money. Perfect. So this enchantment that you've placed on this man, you're familiar with what it does, but I think you're also familiar with the sources of your magic. I don't know if that's something you want to tell anyone about right now.
Well, it is. Nix knows that for the average person, it is quite scary where her powers come from, because she draws powers from nightmares, pretty much. So, what she does is she gains her power by absorbing the nightmares of people and creatures around her, and she stores these nightmares in little crystals and charms that she wears around her neck and her bracelets. And in the night, when she's asleep, she goes to explore these powers, make use of them, find new ones, and is spending her night wandering through nightmares. And since
Yes.
Kayla's asked her where her powers come from, they had a discussion about, him maybe just going and having a look for himself, because it is kind of difficult to explain to somebody who's never experienced that world for themselves.
Well, he's about to experience it a little bit more in the first person than even when he was dreaming. Because as you untie him and get ready to move out of the cave, lurking in the shadows, drawn by your magic, coming out of the cave or coming down from the ceiling of the cave is a monstrous black and crimson banded snake with a most human-like head, stringy hair, deep brown eyes, and the smell of rotting flesh. Its head comes into view as Kale stands up, and its long, forked tongue will hiss out at you, reaching for Manfred.
Is this your pet?
I very slowly shake my head. And as I see Manfred, I'm gonna do the Yoon move, right? So I've seen Yoon do this before. So what I'm gonna do is I put a hand in front of Manfred, and together with Manfred, I do the Yoon turn. I'm standing in front of the butler now.
All right, I think that is the signal for initiative to be rolled then.
Yeah.
How big is the cave? So like how far away are Abaddon and Izul?
20 or 30 feet.
Okay.
You probably aren't seeing this, but if anyone calls for you, you can be there right away.
Do we smell the stench of rotting flesh? 20 feet is not that far.
It's not that far. It will waft out to you within seconds.
Yeah.
So, maybe just delay your initiative by 1?
Okay.
And
Sure,
we should
it's peaceful out here as well.
Yeah. I think I forgot to pray for new spells. I feel like I would have done that over the past couple of days, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Or F it. I'll wrestle the snake.
Indeed.
Are we getting...
We don't have tokens because we haven't gone through that process yet, although I don't know why. We definitely should have. So I will just add...
I gotta check.
That's okay. We'll do them manually. Let's see. Abaddon 6. Izul gets 12. No,
11?
10.
1 sec, I gotta get
10 plus 1.
Okay. June.
Oh, very fast. Okay.
No ogre. June. The Spirit Naga will roll into initiative as well. With... That's a 9 or a 10.
This was like an unarmed snake, right? Not like a humanoid snake with a weapon.
Correct. It's got a
Okay.
humanoid head, but otherwise it's a crimson and black snake. D10 plus 3 brings us to 10 total. And Kale, you got 7.
back.
Nyx, you got 4.
Oh, I just realized it's gonna be really annoying to try to shout anime attacks if I'm sick.
All right, Nyx,
Oh, are we doing that where we have like our special moves that we have to narrate and like shout out a cool catchphrase every time we do them?
I've bandied that idea about. I don't know if it's gonna be the greatest thing ever or if everyone will hate me in like 2 minutes.
Since when do you care who hates you, Greg? Honestly, let people just...
More than people think.
just shake it off, Greg. Just listen to Taylor Twiff.
Just shake it off.
Listen to Tay. Shake it off. Do your thing. Nyx, you're first.
Yes. Am I in meeting with the snake, or am I on range? Like, how far away is it?
Its head has kind of poked out of the shadows. It's maybe 10 feet from you. It was hissing towards Manfred until you Juned him. So, you could back away without taking an attack of opportunity.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a dagger.
All right. Well, it's a big ass snake with a human head.
I love
And
the
I'll
fact
miss.
that juning him is a verb. we have 1 June of damage, and we have the June turn.
I'll say to the snake, this is my cave, you have no place here.
You called me. It hisses. You desired me. You brought me here. Abaddon, take your turn.
All right, I hear the hissing voices from inside the cave and the smell of rotting flesh. I turn and look at Israel and go wide-eyed. And I reach into my bag and pull out a chip of granite, crush it in my hand and touch the floor, and cast Strength of Stone. I quit my flail and run into the cave.
Excellent.
I've never cast this before.
What's going on?
I have no idea.
Shoulder.
You can hear the sound of a dagger bouncing off of a cave wall somewhere.
Did
Is
you?
that
Oh,
a
you did
very
buy giant hair.
distinctive sound?
Yep.
Like, that ding could only be a dagger bouncing off a rune-carved cave wall. There is no other sound like it. It takes me back to my birth 5 days ago.
So,
What do I see?
what's your strength now?
16. Plus 1
Okay.
damage. Oh, yeah.
All right, so you burst into the cave. You see this creature, you're like shrouded in the upper reaches of the cave, sort of in this semi-unnatural darkness. Its long head coming out, a human face with a most human-like head with stringy hair and deep brown eyes stares out at you.
Nix, what have you done to Kale? He looks awful.
Did you leave your brain outside? Kane is right here, and I point at him.
Hello.
Okay. Well, what do we do about this guy? All right, and then my turn passes.
Okay, Kale, you are
Kale
awake.
is gonna step over to the cave wall, and he's gonna kind of like carefully brush his hand over the stone surface, looking for a good spot before he like punches into the wall. And his hand like sinks through the stone, and when he pulls it back out, his hand is like covered in stone into like a stony fist.
Whoa.
Ugh.
Strength of Stone and Fist of Stone.
Yeah.
Right. Does that include a melee attack this round, or is it just this casting of the spell this round?
Let me check. Turns to stone, can be used to punch, smash, wizard combat bonuses.
I think.
I don't think so. I think it takes the
Yeah.
turn to cast it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The duration is how long? More than one round, right?
Round per level. So I assume like it goes off at the end of this round, and then I have it.
You'll have it for next round. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Excellent. Izul.
Izul is outside the cave, turning over their shoulder, pulling the enormous ogre spear out of the mud, and going after the spirit naga because you told me to delay my initiative by 1.
Thank you. Thank you for delaying your initiative by one person who is outside the cave.
I still would have gone before.
You would. It's
What's
fine.
going on in there?
Well, you see the same thing. Human head attached to a crimson and black banded snake, long stringy hair, brown eyes. The forked tongue comes out of the human's head and it's kind of like purplish, and it's tasting the air around you guys. You cool?
It's the naga's turn.
It's Azul's turn. Do you not gonna...
The Naga goes before.
The Naga goes
Azul,
before
since
me.
He's now at 11. And
We tied,
Oh.
but yeah, I didn't include the +1 in my initiative.
Got it. All right, so you
Like,
poke your head
rolled from the
around.
sheet.
Got it. And the Naga will throw down. It'll like fork its tongue out at you guys and cast a spell. Targeted at the closest people nearby. It will cast Hold Person on the denizens of the cave, rolling a 2 for the number of people it'll affect. Presently, there are 5.
I have lowest HP, so I'm getting fucked.
Yeah,
It's a sleep spell, not a Hold Person.
Yeah, that's right.
I think there's 5 of you inside the cave, including Manfred, and then Azul's outside. So those of you in the cave, roll me a d20. I'll roll a d20 for Manfred. The lowest rolls get affected.
Oh, okay. So it's
This
not
isn't
picking
the save.
targets.
This is
No, this
like,
isn't the save. This is who gets
Yes!
spell.
To be affected.
Oh, Kale!
Kale and June, make me saving throws versus
Wait,
spell.
Neal didn't roll.
Oh, I
Yeah,
rolled
he
for
did.
Manfred. He rolled a natural 20.
Oh, of course he did.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry.
Hold on. I have to check what saving throws are again. I don't remember what they are for level 1 wizard.
So this is a save versus spell, correct?
Yes.
Well, spells a 12 for you, Sean.
Bosh!
Oh, yes.
I
Yes!
think I succeed. I do succeed.
yeah.
Oh my
Nice.
god, you both pass?
Yeah. It's 12 for a level 1 wizard. I forgot that wizard saves are like actually amazing.
Only versus spell and wands.
They're generally really good, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, clerics have better save versus death, but like warriors have garbage saves until later in the game, right? Like wizards have good saves right off the bat.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the saving throw versus spell the hold person spell has failed. The Naga hisses out at you guys, fixing its eyes, examining you, trying to figure out who the hell all these people are. It's aware of Nyx and it's aware of Kale, but the rest of you don't belong here. Izul, now you come into the cave.
Yes, I enter the cave, hoisting my ogre spear, long haft of wood with a sinister wrought iron point. We had talked about breaking it down into a human-sized spear, but I don't know if that's been done yet. Does anyone recall if I declared that? So I think I've got a long spear.
You argued with Neal extensively to keep your longish half.
Well, I didn't. But he said I couldn't use it one-handed. I think eventually I do want to modify it, but that hasn't been done yet. So I think I've got a long spear. Am I
think you got a long
using
spear.
your nerfed long spear, or am I using the combat and tactics long
The
spear?
length of the spear does not change the damage of the spear.
Rules as written beg to differ, but I'll go ahead and
Thank you. I
roll
appreciate
with
you
that.
indulging my
Roll the ogre
whims.
spear. And make an attack roll. From a distance, however, right?
Yes,
I've got reach. That is
And-
not right. That's not right. What?
D20 plus 8?
Yeah, that's including it should just be D20 plus 0. So it's an 11.
Okay.
Plus darkness penalties if it doesn't have infravision or something.
No, I think where its head is at least, where there's light coming in. That's how you guys saw it. But an 11 is going to miss. Certainly going to miss.
What is
And
this beast? Can I
June.
roll a religion check to see if this is a creature of celestial origins or something? Or if it is
Yes.
in any
Give me
scriptures?
a religion check.
And does it pass? So I feel like if this is some creation of the gods, or if it occurs in any relevant mythology,
What
I may have heard of it.
We are the mythology.
Right? I mean, if this is like, this is Varasi's pet, or this
Oh, I
is...
suppose there was technically a time before man that Iswal could have come from.
Mhm.
Like the
We were all
mythology
inserted
of
with
the-
knowledge, right?
Of the
So, like,
angel race.
yeah.
That's fair. They could have implanted mythology into us.
Yay or nay, Neal? Is this in the realm of religion?
It is. This is one of Terrassa's pets that she has been taking the time to perfect and form, and don't really, they exist in concept somewhere and maybe in test cases somewhere in like a different plane of existence. And this one has somehow been called from a completely different realm out to this one.
Okay.
Can we get a TLDR on Terrassa?
Goddess of Fear. Offspring of Verasi and Nadinus, goddesses of death and nature, respectively.
Sick.
We do not fear you, pet. Go back from whence you came. And I think June.
Nice.
Our hero.
All right, so June shakes off the effects of the hold person. I think he goes last because it just takes him some time to undo the leather cords on his back that tie this great sword to him. And as it falls into his hands, he braces himself to leap up as high as he can, and he shouts in an attempt to get the snake's attention, forgetting that he's just sick as hell. And he's like,
The star falls from the heavens.
And attempts to slash down on this creature with a leaping strike.
Blade comes up,
nine, and
crashes
fails
into the
miserably.
ceiling well before the Naga is there, scrapes across, sending sparks all over the place, and we roll into the second round of initiative.
It's this? Yeah, because wait, no, it's faster than running, so it's a 2.
If you just walk, what is that?
3.
3.
It's faster to use your dagger than it is to walk.
Yep. Which makes sense, to be honest.
Except that when you use your dagger, you also get to make a
it's a
move as
move.
part of it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you just
that's
like
a
it's
little
like
bu-
Counter-Strike.
I mean,
You just run faster with a knife in your hand.
it's just a
You know?
really weird 1980s system.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to keep the spell slots I had marked previously.
That
Right,
sounds very
like-
fair.
Yeah.
Zool rolls an 11. Nyx is at 9. Kayla's at 5. I should get you guys some tokens. That would be good. And our monster will go at 8. June is at 9. All right. Nyx, fast again.
Okay,
Nope,
that's
nope.
first, right? 5.
I take it back. I didn't update your initiative. You're slow. Slow as shit. Kale, you're first.
Oh, sweet. Kale's gonna run at this thing with like hand cocked back, ready to punch, and he'll shout "Manfred" as he does it.
Yes.
With a 17 to hit.
That'll do it. You crack the spirit naga
Is
in
the
the
base
face.
damage E4 since it's like essentially a gauntleted fist?
Oh. I think it's got the +6 to damage, but
It
that's
does have the
actually a good
+6,
call.
but would it count as would the base be like a gauntleted fist essentially?
I appreciate the lawyering. That sounds very reasonable.
I love it. Yes, I'm not even going to bother looking at it. I love your interpretation.
All right, it takes 9 points of damage.
Oh!
So,
Okay, let me actually put a token on the map so that you guys can see an HP bar.
Do we need to see the HP bar?
Oh, it's not just a
don't
black
have
screen.
to.
Are we on this map?
There's like a
there's
grayed out area up here. Yeah.
Put you here. You go to the back.
does that Naga have like a Karen haircut in that token? It really does.
Where?
It's
Look, put it in this so we can see it. It's literally, it's got.
Oh,
like a
are you
little-
are you cheating and looking at the
No, I'm on the token. on
purple
the-
worm? Oh, I don't see a token. I don't have light, by the way.
you can't see.
I see fog of war.
You don't. God damn it!
I think I don't have access to the token or something.
Why aren't you all players? You're a player, right? Are you logged in as a player?
I'm refreshing. Yes, I'm a player, Neal. Okay,
I'm
we're
not.
good. We're good. Hi, Karen.
Look at its hair. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, you hit it.
Can I see your manager?
9. The spirit naga goes, it takes the blow, and then it will use its gaze attack. Looks like most of you are facing the spirit naga in some form or another.
Yeah, I was assuming I was behind it, right? Just from like how the scene was set up, but I'll be wherever makes sense.
Sure, no, if you were, I mean, it makes sense if you're fighting it that someone has moved to the deeper end of the cave where you can
Yeah,
punch
because I
it.
had to walk over to the wall, right, to let it get my fist of stone on.
Yes. Well, she will gaze upon y'all, and I'm going to need y'all to make me saving throws versus spell, except for you, Mr. Kale, who's just lawyered himself out of a saving throw.
She can gaze at
I was wondering if it was
everything
going
in
to
front
turn
of her.
around for me or not.
Well,
was
it's a-
more what I was getting at.
It's a gaze attack, and rather than having it be like every time you look at it, make a saving throw, I was just going to have it do its gaze attack on people on its turn. Like, you know, activate its eyes and look around at the people for its action, meeting
Did you
your
say
gaze.
Did you say spell, Neal?
Yes, versus spell. That feels like a better use of its power than just like, on your turn, make a save. On your turn, make a save. Feels more gamey.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it's PPD save.
No, this is a charm spell that it's gazing at you with, not petrification.
Okay.
So Nyx will be not charmed, June will be charmed, Abaddon will be charmed. Is there
spell? Are you sure? I don't like this at all.
Zool will be charmed. The Naga looks into your eyes and you realize this creature, as monstrous as it may be, is just another creation of the gods, blinked into the world against its existence, just like against its will, just like you guys. It's maybe scary, otherworldly, dangerous perhaps, but it's just another one of the gods' creations. How could you fight such a thing? You know? Except for Nyx, who is very well aware that this is the realm of nightmares, and despite its sympathetic points, it's still here to eat your souls. Nyx,
Yes.
it's your turn.
I think I have to. So here's the thing. What do you do if you rolled a different initiative, but you still want to cast a spell? You can't do it in the same round, can you?
You could go a little bit later. What's the casting time of your spell?
1.
What did you roll for initiative? D10 plus 3?
Yes.
That's fine. Go for it.
Okay. So Nyx is aware of the charming feature of fear, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she looks at the snake, and despite feeling very like this is a kindred spirit in some way, she actually feels insulted a little bit, because her cave is her space where she feels safe and where she feels at home, no matter how otherworldly it might be to other people. And she did not invite this creature to come here. And if there's any creature who reigns over fear that is in this cave, it's Nyx and nobody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she reaches into her leather satchel and she pulls out a card with her hand, and holds it up over her eye, and the card looks like this.
Ooh.
And she says to the creature, if you think you can win over me in a battle of fear, you're very, very mistaken, and you better get out of here as fast as you can. And I cast Spook on the creature.
Spook.
Yes.
That will cause it to flee in fear at maximum speed, right?
Yep. And if it fails, I think, is it a saving throw?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it will flee. So what the other people can't see it, so they don't get peeved out by it. You only see her holding the card, but what happens to the creature is it feels as if all the air is being sucked out of the cave, and as if the walls are slowly closing in on the snake itself, as if the space in the cave is getting smaller and smaller by every second where this creature is standing in it.
Yes, and our Naga will roll a 3 on her saving throw, which is terrible. And on her next turn, she will flee. But June, it is your turn. You have been charmed into a sympathetic point of view with this beastie. What are you
I
going
was
to
really
do?
hoping it would like run out of the cave immediately, because I intended on following it. Like,
Come back, new friend. Come back.
I don't know. I suppose I will assume a protective stance in front of the snake, and in my intent being to protect it from any further harm. I don't think I see raising a card as a harmful action. I don't think June understands magic.
Yeah, certainly
really.
not.
And as Nyx described it, like nothing was visible or understandable from our end. So I
Yeah.
just think that June just protective of his new snake friend.
What about you, Azul? You recognize this creature,
So
sort of.
I rolled into initiative with this spell. I don't know that a charm going off would derail my initiative roll. I mean, what do you think here? Like,
Probably not. What sort of spell were you casting?
cause fear.
Oh
Even if I'm sympathetic to the creature,
train,
it is a creature of fear.
Yeah?
I don't know that it's inherently, I don't know, running against the grounds of the charm to reflect back a taste of its own medicine. I would propose we just let the spell carry out, and
I think that
see
see
if it passes its save.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you're also charm doesn't mean you're gonna like cuddle it, but defeating it, getting it away from you without killing it is a very if you see a bear,
So I
you're
think
not gonna stab the bear. You're gonna drive it off because you like the bear.
Right. And it's not that I like this creature; it's that I sympathize with it as a creation of the gods, as we are.
Well,
So
it rolls
let's-
a 4 on its saving throw
Okay,
versus
so
spell.
I think I lock eyes with the creature, sympathetic to it. But there's like a reverberation effect where like it gazes at me and I gaze back at it. I think I pulled down my my Oni mask.
And you fall in love with the
mask of terror.
snake, but the snake fears you.
Uh-huh.
Oh, brutal, just like the real world.
And this causes it to move at maximum movement speed. It's the same as the spook.
Same, yeah.
But it's interesting. The remove fear gives a penalty of 4 to saving throw, so I almost feel like it like interacts with the spook and makes it just a extra fear.
Yes. Abaddon, what are you going to do about this situation?
Ultra
Well,
fear.
At this point, no one's got any weapons drawn, right? Apart from me.
I have a spear in my hand, but I don't know if I'm
Threatening with it.
And
Yeah.
June's got a sword. And
I
Kale's
think
got
I'm
a...
internally confused as to why I'm not terrified of this thing anymore. But I just sheathe my flail and slowly take a few steps towards it, and I guess stand next to.
I think we can still be
June.
terrified, right?
You
Right,
can be
charms
afraid
are
even
sort
if you respect it. Or, don't
Who would
hate
be
it.
terrified of our new snake friend? It has such nice hair, Uwu.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I'll just shoot my weapon and go and stand next to June. In
All right.
defense of it.
Well, Kale and Nyx roll me into initiative for the next round. I think everyone else is
Sure.
sort of taken...
Nix, you threw a dagger, right?
Yeah, earlier. I didn't.
It missed?
Yeah.
Okay. So I assume it's like behind me then, right? Because Nix
Well, you
threw
punched
it. And
it. Oh, the dagger. Yeah.
Dagger's behind me. I'm gonna go pick it up and try and stab this thing with it.
Well, you gotta roll a 1d4 to see if you can find the dagger on the floor of the cave, because it is really easy to lose stuff in an entirely empty cave that is
Especially
really
in a cave. No, caves are notorious for
very
losing
difficult.
things.
Yeah, you might not find it.
I feel like you're making fun of me, but I agree with everything you're saying right now.
See, this is how you know you've made good parody.
All right, the snake will go at 10 on the initiative roll. Kale goes at 10. Nyx?
Yeah, that is the thing. It is supposed to run away, but it is still stuck in here, isn't it?
Oh, well, it's
snake.
going to run away on its initiative for certain. It just has to roll
okay.
initiative.
Yeah.
So there's an opportunity for you to act again beforehand, which you do. You will go first, Kale. Nyx. Cave Denizen.
I mean, it is a movement, my +3, so I'm gonna move
Okay.
forward to, I guess the snake is now behind June and Abaddon, right?
Yeah.
Yes?
So I'm gonna advance up on my two compatriots until I'm like really, really close, like until our shoulders are almost touching, and I say, just let her leave.
Well, this,
It just got here.
the Spirit
I
Naga
was
will...
gonna invite it to tea.
Spirit Naga's going to try and leave the cave while Kale searches for the dagger. Kale, make me a perception check to find the dagger in the dark.
Wait, we don't have perception anymore. What do I use?
Oh!
Wisdom?
Well, I guess you find the dagger then, tough luck in it.
Oh yeah, no.
You
I
find the
it, right?
dagger, sure. By the time you find the dagger, the snake is already slithering out of the cave. You see its body.
I see it leaving as I pick it up, and I'm like, aha! Reeling from the weight of my mighty blow, no doubt. That will teach you to pick a fight with my TA.
Kale, you scared it off.
What is the Naga compelling us to do with its charm effect?
It wasn't compelling you to do anything. It was charming you. for
Yeah.
later uses, but then it got scurred and it has fled into the darkened jungle. It's about 15 feet long. It's maybe, I don't know, about yay big around. What is this, like a foot and change around? And it
All right.
slithers quickly. away.
Izuel is triumphant. I think it obeyed my commands perfectly. That
I'm disappointed. I guess I didn't have a big enough mug for it. But he could have been great friends, I'm telling you.
Yeah, Kale, you seemed really nice the first time we met, and now you've gone off on this weird little thing that Nyx is doing, and now you're attacking our friends and driving them off. Like, what's
Reed, you're a
changed,
bit of
bro?
a dick.
What weird thing I am doing are we talking about here exactly? I haven't killed a single ogre so far. I'm not carrying a giant spear around. I don't do prayers in the morning. Which part is it?
I don't know, maybe the vomiting blood.
I don't see Kale vomiting blood right now, do you?
No, that's what you did. But
I did bleed acid once.
see, he's weird.
Nyx, were you consorting with that creation of terror?
Obviously not. She woke me up just in time for me to save my manservant.
Thank you, my lord. I greatly appreciate it.
Of course, anytime. Your well-being is important to me. You have so many papers to grade when we get back to the university.
About that, I had to use some of the tests to, I was in the cave for a long time, and I don't know what the plants outside are, so...
Don't worry. We can just give them a passing grade. Nobody will notice.
Gives you a curt, quick nod, willing to move on from the topic.
There is a chance this creature will eventually come back to this cave, but if we meet it again at some point... I'm sure it will
Excellent!
know-
We can have a tea party.
I'm sure it will know, June, who is the superior in this cave. And I'm sure it will respect that next time it comes around.
Have some sympathy, Nyx. Leave the poor creature be.
Oh, it's really lovely how everybody has sympathy for this terrible creature of terror, but zero sympathy for me.
For you.
Do you want a tea
I've
party?
been around with you people for much longer. I'm also warden of this valley, yet you have way more sympathy for a snake of nightmare that has literally just popped into existence.
Well, the snake never shouts at us.
I don't. Just fuck that snake.
I'll make you some tea. It seems like you need some.
Actually, the serpents of Terrassa are an old creation, predating humanity. One of her favorite playthings. A pitiable existence, but
To be a creature of a god, is that pitiable? Because I know quite a few people also are creatures of a god.
yes, but... Are you referring to the ogres?
I'm referring to us.
But you are human. Sure, you are creations of gods, but you are your own creature.
Is that so? Because
That's the difference.
so far all we've done is we've been given free will and we've just followed whatever Malchus wanted. How does that make us better than one of Terrassa's snakes?
What else would you have us do?
There's an entire valley that we can explore and that we can do things with. As soon as we are sure that the ogres are not going to overrun us any second, I think we should try to make up our own mind about what we want in this world.
Surely without Malchus, we will be overrun and consumed by veracity.
You need not limit yourself to this valley. The whole world is yours for the taking.
The whole world? Is there so much more out there, do you know?
You have no idea.
And with this, why don't we take our first break? We'll come back on the other side with some more Legends of Arcadia.